Thursday, April 5th, 2018. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have a full planning board tonight. Members present: Sean Winston, David Dow, Niall Shore, the Vice Chair Paul Bovair, Nicole Fecto, and Mike LaRue. We also have our planning technician and water department billing clerk, James, and Facebook chief administrator present.
I smell another raise.
Isn't he like the web? Are you webmaster too?
I edit the website sometimes.
Okay, so maybe you can throw that in next time.
There is no public here this evening for public comment session, so we'll skip over that. Moving on to the approval of minutes for the March 15th, 2018 meeting. What do you have?
One comment. And it is,
Why don't you speak into the microphone?
thanks, Nicole.
So we can all hear you. Lovely.
Comment is the page, the last page of the minutes, actually next to the last page. And we had Les Bodwell with LRB Leasing with us at the last meeting, and we talked about the lower part of the lot that he is going to be putting his 2 apartment houses on. He would have a park across the wetland. And I'm not sure if it was a park that we talked about or using the open space for, we had a couple ideas. One was a community garden and that kind of stuff. So it's not clear when it says Les Bodwell of LRB Leasing asked the planning board if he built a park. I mean, it could be an amusement park, it'd be. I just want another 3 or 4 words to explain a little bit more what was discussed at the meeting.
How about playground?
Playground would be a park or playground, or just to kind of bracket it a little better.
Recreational
area.
Park
Yeah,
defined in our
Or,
LUO.
or community garden, because we did speak about that. But and is that possible?
I'll go back to the tape and, explain more.
Thank you.
What else?
That's it. Other than that, I just had to find something to,
Amusement park.
make James earn his
Anybody
paycheck.
else have any other changes? Okay, motion be for accepting the minutes as amended.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as amended.
Second?
Seconded. Further discussion? All in favor? Okay. And abstaining?
Yes.
1 abstaining. Okay. Moving on to old business sketch plan major subdivision 115 Old Pine Hill Road. The applicant is not here this evening, so we will not be discussing this evening. There's no new business scheduled for this evening. Informational items. Anything from the board I'd like to share?
Yes, I have a question. When we passed the form-based code amendments in the fall, there's reference in there to design standards that developers would have to meet. Has anything progressed on the development of such things?
No.
Thank you. Perhaps we could figure out a way for that to happen?
Can you clarify that?
Yeah, if you look at the form-based codes, there are several areas where it says, we will develop design guidelines, design standards, and then we can hold the developer to those.
Yeah, the sentence
We
is
just haven't
like,
done it.
building facades and materials shall follow
Right.
the Berwick design guidelines as adopted by the town.
Right.
We have not yet created those design guidelines. Envision Berwick had money in our budget to contract Lassell. That got taken out. Lassell would have helped us with those design guidelines. We probably could, I mean, it could be a planning board Envision Berwick initiative that we could do similar to what we did last year. It would be less intensive. I mean, we do have some funds to develop that. It's just a matter of what our priority. I mean, obviously we want those design standards, but the November vote comes up fast. So it's a matter of what our priorities are and where we want to spend our time this summer.
So.
So where does that leave
For a
us?
second.
Well, I
It's
think
really-
we want
it's really up
this,
to,
we
like,
want something in
Take
place
this,
before we
Nicole,
turn the
'cause I've
property
got this
back, I
one here.
think.
It's really up to, I mean, there needs to be a directive of who wants to put that work in to develop that document. And if you want to essentially charge Envision Berwick with trying to get that together, that's something I think we could run with, or if it's something that you guys want to lead, you know what I mean? There's a process of starting the process.
Right, because when we turn the property back over, and then let's just assume a developer is gonna come in, or Kahea is gonna come back with some building design, if we have nothing to hold him to, or we have nothing to give to him, then how, I mean, it doesn't seem
There
very
are-
fair if we're referencing something that doesn't exist.
Well, no, you wouldn't be able to. The design standards part just references building materials and
Right.
like the facades.
The facade,
You
yeah.
wouldn't have any control over it. There are other design standards in the form-based code, and I'd recommend looking at that
Yeah.
once a week. And I did you do a Control F search of the document, and it says shall and must 86 times.
Niles?
So there's a lot, I mean, there's a lot that's prescribed
Yeah.
in the form-based code. There's a lot of good stuff in there. But we have until, September to get another round of changes in. Plenty of time, I think. I don't anticipate Mark coming in with an application. I've said it before. If he does, I think that's a good thing. Like,
It is.
I'd rather I think we did a lot by getting that form-based code in. There's a lot in there already. If he comes in, we're somewhat unprepared, but he's in June, that's a really good thing for us. But I don't think that's gonna happen for a few reasons, but that just gives us time to get those changes in. I think it's September-ish is our deadline to meet all the noticing and stuff, but that's still, still have a lot of time.
We could just start doing double meetings again like we did all last summer and
Why
spring.
don't we wait till the summer and do double meetings?
And let's meet on the 4th of July, too.
I think you're being a little optimistic when you say we have a lot of
I'm
time.
optimistic
Because
till fall,
summer,
that's me.
you might as well blow off the 4th of July timeframe because everyone goes away. I mean, it's going to go fast. And if something happens and things start percolating, like Nicole said, we're going to be in a tough spot to fill in these holes that may exist.
And the citizens of the town of Berwick have us under a microscope right now, particularly with what's going on across the road. And I would not want that little oversight to come up and be a mark against us for not doing our job to the best of our ability. So maybe we should take charge and just work it into our agendas
Yeah.
as we can, and we can all bring information. The thing is, we don't have to recreate anything. There's plenty out there. There's a lot of towns, there's a lot of New England towns we can look at and pull.
There's a lot of work that Lasso did as well
Yeah,
that was pulled out with that in mind, that other piece would be coming in. So there's work that they've already done.
And you have that, and you could make that available to us.
yeah. Why don't you
I'll
get
have to
that?
talk with Mike, but yeah, he wouldn't keep it from us. I
Yeah.
mean,
Would it make sense, Dave, to actually allocate like a half hour, 30 minutes, or an hour
Yeah,
at the end of a
absolutely.
planning board meeting and discuss these things and start looking at them and take some action?
We could just, next week or next meeting, we could just put it in new business and just keep it in old business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like
I'll do
an
it.
hour work session.
Listen, we're good for it.
he quits.
Thank you.
Who just quit?
Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to share?
Sounds like we're gonna need some BCTV applicants.
Do you have anything?
Well, we had a meeting, and most of us were actually there with the Board of Selectmen and Vision Berwick together, and I think, just for general knowledge, that it was a really worthwhile meeting, I thought, and the selectmen did say that we are going to be having these periodically, and they really are open to the public. So,
Has the next one been scheduled? Do we know?
I thought that just came
it was
out.
the last Tuesday in April.
Yeah, I thought.
I would love
thought
to know
something
because
just
I
came
read
out
about
on
it on Facebook about an
Or
hour
it's-
before the meeting.
it's on the
so
town
I didn't know. I didn't
page,
even know
maybe.
about it.
I don't know.
well, it's on the schedule. It's supposed to
Perfect.
be,
Where's the
anyway.
schedule?
I think monthly would probably be excessive. We should look at
I
either
agree.
bi-monthly or quarterly, and stick to doing quarterly.
Yeah, let's. But the next meeting has already been, I believe the Board of Selectmen already said we will meet on that date, right?
Okay,
That's what I heard.
That's what I remember too.
Yeah. I would say one thing about the meeting is I thought it was good to have the meeting and everybody to get a lot of things out there, but I don't really feel like we accomplished much.
I don't feel like we ever do at those meetings because there's a lot of talking and there's a lot of
I
ideas.
felt like we
that-
started to talk around in circles at one point.
I think the
That
first
was-
30 minutes were productive, and then there's a lot of little sidebar conversations. So that always tends to happen.
Yeah.
Which is why maybe having them more frequently might get.
You got to remember that meeting, the last time we had one of those, I think, was probably 6 to 8 months ago. And that one there, I think, they do kind of,
Maybe we should try to be a
Go
little
off
bit more
track.
formal about it then, so that it's not, so that we're not there for
Yeah.
hours because we've got 15 people that love to talk.
Yeah.
Maybe try to conduct it more professionally. I'm not saying use Robert's rules, but like
Well, just a little more focused, I think. on
right, yeah,
certain-
like
But-
have an agenda and stick
but
to
I
it.
think we
remember
had
that Steve, our town manager, he spent a lot of time just bringing us back up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it was good, because I know a lot of people, there were a lot of things that had to be updated, so.
Good.
Anything else? Okay. No, we're not going to have another public comment session because there is no public here. So next on the agenda is the adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the April 5th, 2018.
We have a
planning board
motion?
meeting.
We have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?